The call came at 11:14 p.m. Too late for good news, too early for an emergency. Just late enough to feel intentional. My phone buzzed once. A message preview flashed across the screen. My brother, congrats on the big deal. We should talk about how the family can benefit. Benefit. That word lingered like smoke in a locked room. I stared at the glowing screen while the rest of the apartment stayed dark, still, quiet, almost accusatory. It should have been a moment of celebration. The deal I'd chased for 7 years finally closed. $3 million wired into my account that morning. A milestone, a victory, a rebirth. But instead of pride, all I felt was a familiar pressure in my chest. Not anxiety, memory. Their voices echoed beneath my ribs like old wounds tapping from the inside. It's a hobby job. Childish. He'll give up soon. He always does. They laughed when I started the business, mocked every late night, every loan, every tiny step forward. To them, ambition looked like a joke. To me, it was oxygen. Now, years later, the jokes had stopped, replaced with something worse, expectation. Another message came in. My mother, we're proud. And since family helped raise you, it's only fair you share your blessings. Share. Fair. Proud. None of those words matched the tone I remembered. A strange calm washed over me. Cold, steady, surgical. The kind that comes right before cutting something loose. I knew then this wasn't success. This was a summons. And I was done being called. The next morning, I drove to my parents' house, the same one I'd left 10 years ago with nothing but a duffel bag and a promise to myself, I won't become small just because you expect me to be. They greeted me with smiles that showed too many teeth. Congratulatory, performative, hungry. My father clapped my shoulder like he was trying to claim ownership of the bone. $3 million, he said slowly, savoring each syllable. Never thought your little project would pay off. Little project. Even now. My mother leaned in. We did support you. All parents deserve something back. A house upgrade, maybe? Or a business stake, if you insist on being independent. Independent. The polite way of saying disobedient. I sat across from them, hands folded, pulse steady. Inside, something old and brittle cracked. They didn't want to celebrate me. They wanted to cash in. Every memory sharpened. Their laughter when I told them I wanted to start the company. The way they dismissed my prototypes as toys. The holidays where I was the family punchline. I'd swallowed all of it. Quietly. Patiently. Now, they spoke to me like shareholders demanding dividends. That was the betrayal. Not the mockery, not the disbelief, the entitlement. They didn't see me succeed. They saw themselves profit. I let them talk about their plans, their needs, their deserved portion. They didn't notice how little I responded, didn't notice the silence coiling tighter around my words. While they spoke, I studied them like case files, mapped their patterns, measured their expectations. My mother's eyes kept drifting to my watch, new, expensive, unmistakable. My father's questions circled the same point, access, to my accounts, to my connections, to my future. Every sentence they spoke became evidence. Every assumption became motive. By the time they finished, the truth was undeniable. They didn't love me. They loved the version of me that finally became profitable. And I felt nothing. Not anger, not sadness, just clarity. The kind you get right before pulling a trigger, of any kind. I slid a folded sheet of paper across the table. My father frowned. "What's this?" "A summary," I said, "of everything you invested in my company." He unfolded it. The paper was blank. My mother blinked, confused. "There's nothing here." "Exactly." Silence dropped like a stone. I watched the realization spread across their faces, slow, heavy, humiliating. All the years they dismissed me, all the times they told me to quit, all the ways they made me feel like failure was inevitable. And now they wanted a cut? My father's voice broke first. "You can't be serious." My reply was a single word: completely. I stood. They stayed seated, smaller now, unsure, almost fragile. "I built this alone," I said. "Every night, every risk, every loss. You weren't there." My mother reached for my hand. I stepped back before she touched me. "This isn't punishment," I said. "It's accounting." Her expression trembled. My father's jaw clenched. I walked to the door, each step precise, deliberate. Before leaving, I turned just enough to let my final words land. "You mocked the seeds. You don't get the harvest." Their faces collapsed under the weight of that truth. And for the first time in my life, I felt taller. The drive home was quiet, not peaceful, just empty in a clean, unfamiliar way. I wasn't angry anymore. Anger required energy, emotion, attachment. I had none left for them. People think cutting family off is dramatic. It's not. It's surgical, precise, necessary, final. As I pulled into my driveway, a simple truth settled into place. Cold and absolute, I didn't lose a family today. I removed an infection, and for the first time in my life, I could finally breathe.